Welcome to JMR Talks. Today we will discuss about Dinesh Karthik syndrome. An excellent comeback made by Dinesh Karthik. Now we all know that he played his first match for India in 2004 when the current when the captain of the T20 team Rishabh Pant was not even 10 years old. At the age of 27, when most of the players either retire or on the verge of retiring, he made a significant comeback, and is in the reckoning of the selectors as well, and making waves. Now, when we look at people like Dinesh Karthik's performance, a question arises as to where do they draw their energy, what motivates them to make such a significant comeback. This kind of experience we have seen in the corporate also, where people rise to the occasion when they are about to retire. Normally, when we look at people around, people are reach their peak at different levels. Some they hit it early and fade away like some of the film stars, and others reach peak at their later ages. But by and large, many of the people they reach their peak at the time of facing retirement. So when you look at people like this, we are reminded of the last rocket of satellite launch vehicle which puts the satellite in the orbit. Now, for instance, let's look at Vidyadhar Buskute, an old retired banker. Post retirement in 2012, he was suffering from emptiness. Didn't know what to do, how to kill the time, and creatively and productively. So he decided to walk from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Porbandar in Gujarat. In a way, he covered the length and breadth of India, during which he crossed 26 rivers in 18 states, during which he saw the green fields, fascinating waterfalls, rugged mountain ranges, etc., etc. And he went around carrying the message of peace, harmony, clean environment, and quality education. Now, when we look at people like Vidyadhar Buskute or Dinesh Karthik, the question that comes before us is, how do they draw their energy? What motivates them? Because inspiration is mostly from the outside, whereas motivation is what's called internal. Now let's look at the prevailing environment. We're in a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. With a changing technology and fierce competition, that's a major challenge before Dinesh Karthik. There are many youngsters around who train well, who have better coaches, better dietitians, better gadgets to help, and also sponsors too. So when we look at Dinesh Karthik's excellent comeback, we get a feeling that maybe people who have a sense of history do it better. Like, while talking about the corporates, I keep telling the managers, rather remind them, the youngsters, that what is the kind of legacy they would like to leave behind. People, when you are in power, they recognize you. But once you leave, it is a legacy, they'll be recollecting. So they do, these people, like Dinesh Karthik or Vidyadhar Buskute, they know that they will never be remembered for anything. Time is very short. And that's what, spurs their desire. Their desire is fired, and they get the required motivation and strive to do better. Now, when we look at the people like Dinesh Karthik or Vidyadhar, I am reminded of Longfellow's quote. What is that? Leave a footprint on sand of time. In other words, when someone pursues excellence and introspects on his experience with focus on improvement, I feel they too can experience the DK syndrome, the Dinesh Karthik syndrome, a syndrome of coming back to the Indian team at the age of 37, when most of the players either retire or on the verge of what we call retirement. When you look at the background, he played for India last time in 2019 World Cup, 3 years before. So how could he what we call make a comeback, to the Indian team? In fact, Dinesh Karthik, what we call acknowledges the RCB's, Royal Challengers of Bengaluru, so what we call contribution. Look at his exemplary finishing skills in the IPL while playing for what we call RCB. Karthik acknowledged that he was given a role. That means there was a clarity of role, and that team what we call supported him. And that's how what we call he could make a comeback to the what we call Indian team against South Africa 5-match series, where his 55 of 27 balls at Rajkot enabled the what we call Indian team to what we call win. So far he played 26 tests, 94 ODIs, and 32 what we call T20s. Now when we what we call reflect upon Dinesh Karthik's what we call performance as what was stupendous, significant comeback, we find the secret for his comeback is to play for the Indian team again. In fact, in one of the interviews, DK himself has acknowledged that his strong urge inside to play the Indian team again made him to practice again and again and again. So needless to say, the phenomenal hitting in the slog overs for RCB, what I call enabled him to what I call make a comeback. In fact, in one of the what I call interviews after the South African T20 series, Rahul Dravid acknowledged that Hardik Pandya and Dinesh Karthik are the enforcers. Now, when we look at Dinesh Karthik and his comeback, what is the what I call our takeaway, or what are the lessons from the what I call people around, irrespective of the domain they are in what I call operating? Number one, age is no bar. Some of us might be feeling okay, very tired. No, we are only tired. Number two, when I look at Dinesh Karthik, I find 3 P's: passion, perseverance, and performance. Passion. He was very passionate about playing for what India, his country. Perseverance. He was trying relentlessly, and performance. He has shown that while playing for what RCB. So when you pursue excellence, success automatically follows. But some people are only after what I call success. No, you pursue excellence, okay, and reflect on your experience, and with focus on improvement. I am sure that every one of us will succeed in our what I call given goal or accomplishment. So once again, I would like to congratulate Dinesh Karthik for his exemplary performance and making that stupendous comeback to the what I call Indian team. And I hope that is going to play a big role in the what I call World Cup, to be played in what I call Australia. Thank you.